What's up, guys? Today, we're going to talk about something a little bit different. Today, we're going to talk about your mindset and how the way you view things and the way that you see things in your mind directly affect, basically every aspect of your life, not just health and fitness, but also career, work, family, friends, all of it, right? So there's an old saying that I'm sure everybody here has heard that is, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. And what that really comes down to is you're capable of achieving whatever you want to achieve, whatever you think you are able to achieve, right? And if you say that you can't do something, then you're never going to be able to do it. But if you say that you can and that you will, then eventually, no matter how hard it is, no matter how much work goes into it, you will eventually be able to make that transition and you will eventually be able to succeed and achieve the results that you're aiming to achieve, right? So let's say, for instance, my full-time primary job, my career is in cybersecurity. And in cybersecurity, we have the vast majority of, people in the industry, people in the field. It's a very unhealthy field to work in, to live in, because, we thrive on sitting at a desk for 8, 12, 14, 20 hours at a time, right? There's the old joke about, hackers in their mom's basements, and it's very unhealthy. We don't sleep a lot. We don't get up and move around a lot. A lot of us don't work out at all. So obesity and being overweight is very, very common in this industry. And I've talked to a bunch of people who work in cybersecurity, who just, there's always an excuse. There's always I've tried everything, nothing works, right? I've tried paleo, I've tried keto, I've tried intermittent fasting, I've tried if it fits your macros, right? I've tried this, it doesn't work. I've tried that, it doesn't work. I've tried everything, nothing works. Well, clearly that's not the case, because if you've tried everything, something will have worked, right? You have a negative defeatist mindset when it comes to health and nutrition and fitness and exercising and being healthier. Whereas if you were to approach it and say, nothing that I've tried up to this point has worked, then you would achieve significantly better results, right? Because you're then going into it with that growth mindset of what I've tried so far hasn't actually done the trick, but something out there will, and I just need to find out what it is, right? So for instance, for me, I've tried paleo. Paleo didn't work for me. I've done intermittent fasting. I got great results from that, but it wasn't sustainable to my lifestyle day in and day out. I've done, low fat diets. I've done low carb diets. I've done, you name it. I've probably tried it. I've done the zone diet, right? I've probably tried the vast majority of the diets out there that you can think of, with the exception of, being vegan. That's something that I'm not willing to do. I like to eat meat entirely too much, and going the complete opposite spectrum, which is going carnivore, which is eating only animal-based products. Right? Those are the only two diets that I haven't actually tried. And there's a few different reasons for those, right? I enjoy carbs entirely too much, and I enjoy meats entirely too much for me to give up either one of those. So they're not something that I'm willing to give up. So those are two diets that I haven't ever tried, because I found something that works for me, right? And I don't need to go in and try something else, because I already know what works for me, right? So I was previously one of those people who went into it with, I've tried everything, nothing works, right? And it wasn't until, I moved to South Carolina and I started doing functional fitness, and, at the time it was CrossFit and basically group training, where I had people around me, and there was, a group of people who were there to cheer me on if they finished the workout before me. There was a coach there to make sure that I was moving properly and that I was moving safely and efficiently. There were, people in class with me. Like, now I can go work out on my own and have a ton of fun doing it. But in the very beginning, I needed the accountability. I needed the structure. I needed to be told what to do. I needed to be instructed and guided and, told how to do a particular movement and how to execute and how to, properly lift the weight to do it safely and efficiently, right? But in the beginning, whenever I would try to go to a gym, it didn't work, right? I would go for a couple of weeks, and then I'd be signed on to a year-long membership, and I would just pay the dues every single month because I didn't have a choice, but I was never using the gym, right? So at the time, I tried going to the gym. It doesn't work for me, right? I don't like working out. I don't like doing this. I don't like doing that, right? So I had that very negative, very fixed mindset of I've tried something and it doesn't work, right? When in reality, it was just I hadn't found something that worked for me yet, right? And that's something that I harp on a lot of my clients and a lot of our members at the gym about. Whenever I hear the word can't, right? I can't do a strict pull-up. You're right. You can't do a strict pull-up yet, right? Eventually, you will be able to do a strict pull-up. There's a few things that you need to do in order to achieve that movement, in order to achieve the necessary strength, in order to lose the necessary weight. It can be done. It's just a matter of, are you going to be negative about it? Are you going to have that negative fixed mindset about it? Or are you going to think positively and say, I can do this, I just can't do it yet, right? So what do I need to do in order to achieve this goal, right? In the strict pull-up, example that I gave you guys earlier, it would be, work on your back muscles, right? Do, dumbbell pullovers and rows and dumbbell rows and barbell rows and lose a little bit of body fat and do a bunch of jumping pull-up negatives and do some assisted pull-ups with bands or an assisted pull-up machine, right? Like there's ways that you can train the strength in there without having to do a full body strict pull-up, which is a very difficult movement to do if you don't have the requisite strength or you are too overweight in order to lift that weight, in order to lift your body up over a bar, right? So it's all mindset when it comes down to it. Right? Like if you come into it with a mindset of, I absolutely cannot do this, I will never be able to do this, then you're absolutely right. You will never be able to do it. You will never accomplish that goal. You will never achieve that result because mentally, even though physically you're doing all the things that you need to do in order to achieve it, in order to get there, in order to do what you need to do, mentally, you're still telling yourself that you can't and that you won't and that it'll never happen. Whereas if you just make a quick shift in your mindset to say, I can't do it yet. I haven't been able to do it yet. I will eventually. By the end of the year, I will do X, Y, or Z, right? You then establish that growth mindset. You then change the way that you approach, each individual workout. You change the way that you approach eating. You change the way that you approach spending time with family and friends, right? And all it really means, right? So I've mentioned growth mindset a couple of times, and really all a growth mindset is it is not allowing failures to define you, right? Instead, identifying failure as a springboard to achieve better and greater results, right? So in the past, right, I mentioned I struggled with diets prior to moving to Charleston, right? I tried paleo, I tried keto, I tried low fat, I tried low carb, I tried, you name it, I tried it, nothing worked. And I had that negative growth, that negative fixed mindset when it came to why can't I do this? And, I couldn't go to the gym. I couldn't find a fitness program that worked for me. Like nothing really fit what I was trying to do. And then I found something that did work and I achieved results, right? So just by finding something that I enjoyed doing, by finding something that worked for me, my mindset was able to shift and morph from that fixed negative mindset that says I can no longer do, or that says that I can't do this, to saying I can't do this ... yet, right? And that ... yet is something that is extremely important. I use it all the time when I'm coaching. I use it all the time when I'm working with clients. I use it all the time when I'm talking to friends who say that they can't do something, right? I always insert that word after they mention it to me every single time. I can't do a 500-pound deadlift yet. I can't back squat 200 pounds yet. I can't do a strict pull-up yet. I can't lose weight, right? I've tried every diet out there. Nothing works for me. I can't lose weight yet, right? You've tried every diet so far and none of them have worked. One of them will work, right? And you can do the exact same thing with, friends and family and life in general, right? Like if you're unhappy with your career, with your job, right? You don't go into it every single day and say, well, I've applied to a couple of things and I've done a couple of interviews and nothing's really worked out. So I can't find another job, right? No, absolutely not. You're not going to take that. You're never going to sit for that, day in, day out lifestyle of like hating what you do. Instead, you're going to keep grinding. You're going to keep pushing. You're going to touch up your resume a little bit. You're going to do practice interviews and mock interviews. You're going to, all those interviews that you went on that you didn't get the job, you're going to follow up and find out what went well, what didn't go well, so that then you have touching points and things to touch up on for the next interview, right? So you're going to continue to progress, right? So that growth mindset does exist in everybody. It's just a matter of where are we applying it versus where are we not applying it. And that's what everybody needs to kind of focus on is trying to have that growth mindset in every aspect of their life, not just in one or two, right? I can't find a better job. I can't lose weight. I can't lift that weight. I can't do a strict pull-up. I can't do this. I can't do that, right? Every time you hear the word can't come out of your mouth, finish the sentence and then add the word yet, right? I can't find a new job yet. I can't lift that weight yet. I can't do a pull-up yet. I can't do a handstand yet. I can't lose weight yet, right? And just adding that one simple word, that one word, those three little letters changes the dynamic of the sentence, not only verbally, but also mentally, right? You're now going to all of a sudden start seeing things differently because you are now going to go into it with that growth mindset that says, nothing that I've worked so far or nothing that I've done so far has actually worked, but something will. And I just need to find out what that is. And I need to figure out how to identify what it is. And then once I identify it, how to implement it into a program or a situation or, a series of steps that I can take to eventually achieve the goal and get the end result that I'm looking for. Right? So this one was kind of quick, but I really just kind of wanted to dive in on mindset, growth mindset versus a fixed mindset, right? Remember that growth mindset is you accept a challenge. You don't allow failure to define you. Instead, you identify it as a way to learn, improve, and eventually get better, right? Everything that we do in life should be approached with that growth mindset of, hey, things didn't work out the way that I wanted them to this time, but next time I'm going to be better because I've now learned some lessons from that failed attempt, right? I think Thomas Edison famously quoted saying something about, I didn't fail to create a light bulb 1,000 times. I learned 1,000 ways not to do it, or something like that. I'm sure I'm butchering that, but the premise is still there, right? He failed 1,000 times before he finally was able to succeed. And when asked about it, he said, I didn't fail 1,000 times. I learned 1,000 ways not to do it, right? Everything that we do in life is the exact same, right? Nutrition, health, fitness, exercise, work, family, friends, kids, everything that we do in life should be approached in that same manner of, I didn't fail. Instead, I learned a way not to achieve my goal, right? So next time you're struggling with something, next time that you're having any sort of a mental kind of beating yourself up mentally where, you're struggling to achieve a goal, you're struggling to achieve a result, you're struggling to, do anything in life, whether it's fitness, health, nutrition, family, friends, doesn't matter. Anytime you're struggling and you hear the word can't come out of your mouth, I immediately want you to finish the sentence and then add the word yet to it afterwards, because those three little letters are going to change everything. They're going to change the way that you approach every single aspect of your life. Simply adding the word yet. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Hey, what's up? Thank you for checking out this episode of the FREQ Talks Podcast. If you found this interesting, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so that you get notified every time we upload a new video. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.